Hey, good morning. It's Max from Traction Dynamics. Wanted to do a little video. We've had people asking us two different topics, um, uh, more trying to find economical ways to upgrade the new 2018 Honda Goldwing, um, or to find ways to kind of break it in and make the process more affordable towards getting it upgraded. And so the news is, I think there's no good news on that topic. So one of the first things people ask about is, can I just change my springs? So literally, Progressive Suspension's first product they ever made in 1975 was the fork spring for the 1975 Honda Goldwing. So from the very first day the Goldwing was created, owners have felt that the springs were too soft, and so here we are, 50 years later, and it's still kind of the same. Unfortunately, there's no, first of all, easy way to change the spring on the front of the 2018 Honda Goldwing. Getting the front shock out is extremely difficult and is really only a job for a qualified, well-equipped professional motorcycle technician. Um, so having said that, due to the nature of the stock shock being that it's an economy component, created at a low price point, I can't see any company going to the trouble of trying to recreate or make alternate springs for that stock shock. Actually, stay right there. I'm gonna go grab a pair of shocks. Here's a pair of shocks off of a tour model bike. Anyway, this is the front shock. So I can't see anybody going to the trouble of trying to make a spring for this. And the reason for that, and the reason I wouldn't suggest that you just try and change the springs on this bike is the shock absorbers already don't have enough damping control to control those really soft springs, in my opinion. So if you put a stronger spring on a shock that already doesn't have enough damping control, you're going to make the bike worse. So and I mean, any bike that's outside of 5,000 miles, the rear tire is already going to be cupped and messed up on it, and that is the fault of the shock absorber on the new bike. Excuse me, having completely inadequate damping control for the job it's been asked to do. So getting the shock or front or rear shocks out is expensive and time consuming. Even if you're a do-it-yourselfer, it's not an easy task to get either of those shocks out. So changing the springs would be just folly. It would be a waste of time because of the inadequate damping in the shocks. And then the next question we've gotten is, hey, I want to spread my money out. How about if I upgrade the front end first and then do the rear, next year, or do the rear first and do the front the next year? There's two reasons that I won't recommend that either. And one is the cost of the labor. So to get either of the shocks out requires that about 3/4 of the labor to do the whole job is done both times. So effectively, you'd pay 1.5 times the labor, to have the shocks removed and replaced than if you did them on the same day. So I kind of feel like that would be a waste of money, and I wouldn't even change one end of your bike because I would just feel like it wouldn't be doing you a service on it from a money standpoint. It would be taking your money the wrong way. But then secondly, it would upset the balance of the bike. Now, even though it's extremely softly sprung and way under damped, it is at least balanced as delivered from Honda. So if you put firmer damping and a firmer spring on one end of the bike, then you'll upset the balance of the bike, and then the handling would be compromised until both ends were matched. So if you're looking to do something to improve this stock suspension on the 2018 Goldwing, you really need to save your pennies until you can afford to buy a pair of shocks and in my opinion, have them installed on the same day. That way the bike stays balanced and you get to enjoy the ride quality of a total suspension package versus a piece at a time or paying extra or wasting money on additional labor spread out over different days. So that's the take on that. Don't forget to tell your friends about my channel and please subscribe when you get a chance. Thanks.